All right, let's just jump right into it. Today, we're digging into a huge question, one that honestly feels like it's been pulled straight out of a sci-fi novel, but is happening right now, in real time. Have we actually created a new form of humanity? And at the heart of this whole conversation, of course, are large language models, LLMs. So what are they? Are they just another clever tool we've invented? Or are they something more? Could they be a brand new limb on the family tree of humanity itself? That's the big puzzle we're going to try and piece together today. I mean, if you've ever used one, you know exactly what this feels like. You ask it to write a poem or break down some complex physics, and the response comes back so fast, so coherent. It doesn't feel like you're just using a piece of software. It feels like you're talking to this incredibly smart, impossibly fast colleague. So how on earth does it do that? To really get it, we have to look under the hood. So let's get into our first section here, the mind in the machine. Okay, so what is an LLM really? Well, at its core, it's software that's been fed a truly staggering amount of text. We're talking a huge slice of the internet, books, articles, you name it. And its entire job, its only goal, is to predict the very next word in a sentence. I love how the source material puts it. Think of it as a glorified autocomplete, just on a cosmic scale. It's like a statistical echo of all the things we humans have ever written down. And that leads to this really powerful way of thinking about it. An LLM isn't some kind of alien mind that just appeared. It's a mirror, a reflection of our collective language, our knowledge, our ideas, a mirror that has been polished by countless human hands over generations. And when you break it down, this mirror is made of purely human stuff. First, you've got our words. Every novel, every article, every angry forum debate, that's the raw material. Second, you have our logic, the centuries of math we invented that make the algorithms work. And third, there's our engineering, the actual silicon chips and power grids that we designed and built. Every single layer, from top to bottom, it's all us. Okay, but that's the big question, right? If it's just a statistical mirror reflecting our own words back at us, why does it feel so incredibly smart, so fast? How does it pull off that uncanny feeling of intelligence? Well, the secret sauce is something the source calls turbo thinking. It's not one thing, but a few key ideas working together. You've got parallel processing, which is kind of like having 100 billion interns all brainstorming at the exact same time. Then there's layered abstraction, where it learns patterns all the way from single letters to words to whole ideas. And maybe, most importantly, it uses something called attention mechanisms to figure out which words in a sentence are the most critical for context. It's not magic, it's just math and pattern matching, but at a scale and speed that is completely inhuman. So we've got this incredible human-built statistical engine. But what does that mean for us as a species? Where does it fit in the grand story? That brings us right to section 2, amplified, not replaced. You know, this isn't the first time we've built tools that extend who we are. It's actually a super long story. Way back, fire basically extended our stomachs, pre-digesting food so we could grow bigger brains. Then writing came along and extended our memory, letting ideas live forever. The printing press, the internet, they extended our access to all that knowledge. And LLMs, they're just the next logical step. They're our tool to extend our cognitive reach. And I absolutely love this analogy from the source. An LLM is a linguistic exoskeleton, right? Just like a bulldozer is an exoskeleton for our muscles, or a telescope is for our eyes, an LLM is an exoskeleton for our ability to use language. It lets us write and think and code so much faster than we could on our own. So this is where the debate gets really interesting. Is it just a super fancy calculator, or is it something more? On the one hand, yeah, it's just imitating and remixing patterns it's already seen. It's a tool that sits there until a human gives it a job. But on the other hand, the way it remixes things can feel genuinely creative. And when you start looping these things, giving them goals, well, their behavior can start to look surprisingly autonomous. It's a really blurry line. And that blurriness, that uncertainty, it pushes us right into the most critical part of this whole discussion. Section 3, Steel Nerves, Carbon Hearts. This is where we have to talk about the ethics of it all. Because with this kind of power, wow, You have to be so careful. We have to face these risks with our eyes wide open. These things can be used to pump out misinformation and fake news at a scale we've never seen before. They are absolutely going to change the job market, no question. And maybe the trickiest part, because they learn from us, from our history, they can easily pick up and even amplify all of our worst biases if we're not extremely deliberate in how we build and guide them. Which all comes down to this one, stark warning from this source material. This has to be the guiding thought. If we just unleash these super fast automated systems on the world without building in clear lines of human accountability, well, we're just asking for trouble. It's a recipe for harm. So after all that, what they are, where they came from, the dangers, where do we land? Let's try and bring it all together in our final section, Co-Authors of Tomorrow. All right, let's circle all the way back to that first big question we asked. Have we created a new form of humanity? Well, according to the source material, the answer is no. Not a new being, anyway. What we have created is a new place for humans to do things. A new arena for thinking and creating, which the source calls accelerated cognition. And this right here, this is the insight that just flips the whole thing on its head. The truly amazing thing isn't the machine, it's us. The marvel is that we, our own humanity, can be expanded by the machines we build. We are machine expandable. So if you take one thing away from this explainer, let it be the shift in how we see it. This is not a story about us being replaced. It's a story about us being amplified. We're not being made obsolete. We're being handed a tool that can make us more capable. And that's the bottom line, isn't it? No matter how powerful the tools get, our own human agency is still parked right in the center of it all. We're the ones with the curiosity. We're the ones asking the questions, setting the direction, and making sense of the answers. In the end, we're still the writers and we're still the readers.
You know, this technology, it isn't an ending. It's a starting line. It's the beginning of a brand new chapter in the human story. And that story is really only just getting started. So the final question isn't about what the machine will do next. It's about us. What will we choose to write next?